Hello guys, welcome back to Tabletop Republic's YouTube channel. I am Seb.k, and as promised, we have the brand new box from Corvus Belli, Operation Kaldstrom. Very excited to have a look at this. For all the people who want to know what's inside the box, we're going to be having a look and seeing all the new things and how things have changed. If you're familiar with previous Corvus Belli boxes and releases, you'll be able to have a look and see all the things that have changed, have been upgraded. Obviously, we'll start with the packaging. This is completely different to the previous boxes. Different orientation, of course. Probably looks better on the shelf side. Also on the back, we've got a picture of both factions. Would have been nice to have bigger pictures of the miniatures, but there's a few more inside the manual, and we'll see that in a second. Obviously, in the box you get a new playmat, new cardboard terrain, which is way more robust than the old stuff they used to do, so this was much better quality. You also get a set of new tokens that we'll have a look at as well, but let's have a look inside. Yeah, obviously if you pre-order this one you get the Kunai Solutions Ninja as part of the package as well, but you need to do that inside the pre-order window. It may have closed, but you may have a couple of days if you haven't done so already, so there we go. Right, so when you open up the box, now I have opened this up previously, so that's why this manual has got a bit of a scuff on the edge here, but you know, things happen with boxes. So inside the manual, all the usual stuff. We've got some fluff, some background for Kaldstrom, as Valheim the planet it takes place on, the whole campaign, stuff, backgrounds for each of the new factions, and some much bigger pictures of the miniatures, so it's really good. Just a shame that on the back of the box they aren't much bigger, so that people who are potentially picking it up can see that, but you know. Also we've got some nice painting guides as well for each faction, which I thought was quite interesting. Usually you only get those in the extra books that Corvus Belli releases, so this is good. Definitely. Again, here we've got Yu Jing and some extra colour samples for Yu Jing as well. And then we've got some rules. It starts with the first mission, but then sort of heavily goes into all the basics of play. There's a couple of videos out there that you can check out. One from Corvus Belli, which goes through the basics of it. I can also recommend Vaulsc, another YouTuber, who's very good at breaking down the game. He's done a video on how to play, and even though the edition's going to get updated soon, the basics of it will stay the same, so his video is still very much relevant, so go check that out. I'll put that in the links in the description. As you can see, it just goes through basic interactions of the units as you might expect, and then into the first mission and the rules for that mission. The profiles and the way they display them has changed, but you can go and get the new app. There's links to it everywhere. It isn't as easy to find. It's called Code 1 Army on Android, and I believe it's on iOS now. But it's better to go to their website and follow the links, because at the moment it's a little bit hard to find via search, but it has all the new profiles and how to build your armies. So yeah, going through all of that, it's just mission after mission, and it gradually escalates in rules type, introduces each of the new weapons as they get put in. As you might expect, it also goes into, let's go back to that previous page, it also goes back into individual special rules, interactions and volumes and silhouettes and things as it goes through. I would have actually preferred that the first few pages have all of this stuff in one big block, kind of like a reference sheet, but there is the full rule book that you can download online for free as well. So that is one of the cool things about Infinity. All of the things you use to play the game are actually free. The only thing you have to pay for are the fluff. And you do actually get a lot of fluff in these books now as well. They've actually gone a step up from their previous books. Another thing I want to mention as well is that the old books used to be two-sided, one side with the English, one side with Spanish. You don't get that anymore. It's just English if you ordered the English package. So bear that in mind. And we've got some more stuff. This is the expansion. So these are the new units that aren't in this box that will be coming out in an expansion box called the Beyond box, I believe. It may be called Beyond, I think they might change the name, but it's the same thing. Essentially you get 6 miniatures, 3 for each faction, that are more specialised. So in the new box you'll get Vargas for, and Locust and Boys for Pano, and you'll get the Yimao, the Shang-Chi and Jin Cube. The amazing model, which hopefully they will show off painted pictures of soon, because the 3D render is extraordinary. And then at the end, you've just got basic breakdown of what a full army. So for Code 1, the points have been changed. So it's 25 points per faction. All the values have been changed to 1 instead of 25 or 27 or 15 or all that stuff. So they've got rid of that. The SWC stays the same. If you're familiar with Infinity, you'll know that each unit that has a special weapon has an amount of SWC. And here it's the same. You get 6 SWC for your army. And each unit will have, take up a certain amount of SWC for each thing. And at the back, we've got a little painting guide and a guide on how to put your miniatures together and deal with all of the excess metal and things like that. So I'm actually working on a video right now, which I'll be filming in a second actually, that goes through the build process for one of these Zanshi's and then the paint process for one of these Zanshi's as well. Here you've got a guide for the Fusilier, but it's basically the same. There's a lot of Vallejo coding here for the different paints that you could use, but obviously you can use anybody's paints. Obviously Citadel paints are very, very good, and I'll be using those in my tutorial as well. Yeah, and here you've got a guide for the Zanshi's. And then this is a breakdown of the 4 factions that will be available for Code 1 as it is now, with new boxes and things you'll be able to get in the future. And at the back you've just got a nice picture with the with some extra stuff. Go find out more. So inside the box we've got some propaganda here for Aristeia. It's a very, very good game. I will be making videos on that in the future. And you've got dice. So the faction dice have been changed slightly. The Pano ones pretty much look the same as they used to do. The Eugene one is now got black ink instead of white ink. I don't know if anyone really had trouble with the white ink before, but they've decided to change it, I think, just to differentiate what they look like. You've got the new bases with the line of fire marker on them, which is really handy, of course. And then we go through and do each model. Now, it's hard for me to show you here what they really look like. Obviously, they're bagged up. I could take these all apart and have a look at them, but we'd be here forever, and I'm not sure you want to do that. There's some beautiful painted pictures of these online. But obviously, you've got your 7 miniatures for each faction, and then the Ninja, which I'm sure is in here somewhere. There's some Fusiliers, but I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Now I will be going into detail with these, which is why I'm not going to show you them now, because I will have them all painted and I will be showing you all them in their full glory. And that's the plastic stuff. So this is the new scenery pack. Inside the scenery pack they've actually included in the actual, let me just get a knife out here, in the actual box, and as part of the scenery pack they've actually included the tokens as well, as they did before. So at the front you get instructions as to how to build them. Just open this up here. They can be a little fiddly, but once they go together they're extremely solid. You can see here that there's a nice 3D breakdown of how you build them. And it does look quite complicated, but once you get the hang of a couple of buildings, they all go together in the same way. I would suggest using some glue, whether it be PVA or super glue for the smaller objects. Not necessary for the big objects, they stay together just fine with the cardboard and they're very, very strong. But with the smaller objects, they can get a little bit flimsy with extra use, especially, as you can see in the bottom here, these small pieces that slot in to the barricades, they're a bit of a problem. So you need to make sure you glue those down. And let's get in. So we've got the new mat here. I'm not going to fold it out because you won't be able to see it in its full glory, but it is very, very nice. I think they've upped the resolution slightly so that the quality of the print is just that little bit better. And it does look really, really nice. So yep, here we are. These are the parts for all of the buildings. There are different designs that you can make. They're a little bit more vibrant than the last pack that was reduced for Operation Wildfire. So I like that, a little bit more colourful. I'd like them if they had a little bit more of a winter theme. But as they are, it means that you can swap out the different sets and they'll look fine on any table. So I think that's why they've done what they've done. And here we've got the different templates and the silhouette markers. This is one of those beautiful things about Infinity, is that every unit has a set silhouette. Instead of just working out how you shoot them based on their guns hanging out or their swords hanging out or whatever, which can always be a problem, there is a set silhouette for every model and it always has a size, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. For example, here we've got a Gunnar Lundmark that I've painted recently, and his hammer hanging out and stuff. It just doesn't matter. It's always this size silhouette, so it is very, very good. As you can see, you've got new tokens here. They've changed the design of what the set tokens look like. I haven't played with these yet, so I don't know whether it's going to be confusing or not, but for the most part, they look pretty simple. As you can see here, you've got prone tokens, disconnected, things like that, and targeted. It's all pretty obvious. I mean, there are so many tokens you can buy for this game out there with different designs that it shouldn't be too confusing. But there you go, there's your set. As you can see here, we've got even more beautiful terrain pieces. And we should have a big box of, there we are, yeah, there's a big panel of the double-sided silhouette, order tokens and state tokens that you get, camouflage. There's a special one here for Lankai because he's actually an objective in one of the missions, so if you don't have the model you can always just use this to represent where he is. You've got some consoles here, which is new. They haven't actually done this before, but now that you've got tokens for the consoles, it shows you the set size they need to be, which is really nice. And you can see on the back here it says antenna and stuff as well. This is definitely an upgrade and one that I really, really like. Giving you objective markers in the box is definitely an improvement. And then you've got all the order tokens here and various state tokens like wounds and unconscious and things like that. I would have liked it if these unconscious markers were red, just because it's more, you know, easier to identify on the battlefield, but they're still really, really good. And there we are, we've got a couple more slides of terrain. You can see here the designs are really vibrant, really colourful, really, really nice. I do really like them. They're definitely a step up, and I actually think that they're a little bit clearer as well than the last set they released. So there we are, that's the Operation Kaldstrom box and everything you get in it. And as I promised in the last video, I got a couple of models from the Diaphos set that I said I would paint up. So I'm going to switch this light on and show you a couple of those. Let's bring that in a little closer. So this is Gunnar Lemark. He's the Panosinian character that you get in the Diaphos, which is a straight expansion to this book, to this box. So it's something that you might want to pick up. There we go, and we've got a Dilmamut as well. I haven't actually got the HVT done. I tried to get it done in time, but these two took quite a while, so it's been a bit of a struggle to get them done in time. But I will have that done soon, and there's going to be a painting tutorial popping up very shortly on the channel about how I paint Infinity miniatures and get them done in the best possible time, because they can take quite a while. But other than that, thank you guys for watching yet another video from me about Infinity. I do love this game. Thank you for checking out Tabletop Republic's YouTube channel. You can go to our Instagram and Facebook at Tabletop Republic, and please check out our other videos. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers!